Beautiful, amazing you. I think one of the saddest things is when entrepreneurs go after money and then they forget themselves along the way. Now, for those of you who are listening right now who are like, uh-oh, that's me. I just want to serve you, if that's okay with you. I see a lot of people, and this is, by the way, I'm Liz Benny from the Happy Million Show. I'm an intuitive business coach. That's how I rock in life. And it's amazing. I help people build the most amazing businesses and lives they love, not at the cost of things that matter most to them. And when I work with people, a lot of the time they're really good at making money. Not so good at peace. Not so good at internal power. Not so good at believing that their worth is high. And they're showing up in the world reactionarily and making money in a reactionary way and not actually just wanting to and by the way, there's nothing wrong with making money or wanting to make a crap ton of money. Like, I love making money. I've got big money goals. And they're amazing. They're incredible. They're exciting. And I'm connected. And I'm aligned. And I'm being all of me. And it's not going to cost me things that matter to me. It won't cost me my marriage. It won't cost me my health. It won't cost me my harmony. I will sleep at night. I will make a shit ton of money year after year after year, more than I've ever made. Because I'm fully integrated in the knowing that I get to build a business and a life that I love, and I choose for it to not cost me the things that matter to me. I see people building businesses that are going to kill them, and that's sad. Kill them spiritually, kill them emotionally, kill their marriages, kill their relationships with their children. And when I say kill, I don't mean necessarily forever, but causing enough destruction for there to need to be a recalibration somewhere down the line. And the recalibration doesn't necessarily have to happen. When I see people build businesses that light them up and they take their family on the journey with them and they have connection with their kids and they're enjoying their children whilst co-creating their financial wealth, whilst still making beautiful, sweet love to their significant other, whilst still, rocking it out and being a freaking badass. I mean, that's incredible. And when I see people cut off parts of them that matter to them to create things that might not matter as much as they think, then that's sad to me. Now, again, I'm all about helping people make a crap ton of money, and my clients are making a crap ton of money and they're building with peaceful power. That probably looked a little bit horrible to say. For those of you watching me right now, it was like peaceful power all over the place. But peaceful power is this internal knowing, this is me, I get to choose, I'm going this way, and I'm doing this in alignment with my truth. I'm not making decisions based on my triggers. I'm not making decisions based on trauma. I am making decisions based on my truth. And with this comes an identity and a standard. The identity of I am a business owner who creates my success and brings people with me who matter. And I don't let my success cost me things that matter to me, but I also don't let things that matter to me cost me success. That last part is equally as important. Because some of you listening to this right now will probably be like, hold up for a second, Liz. Can't I just make a shit ton of money? I'm like, yeah, make a freaking shit ton of money. Yes, of course. And you get to choose your non-negotiable boundaries around that. what I mean by that is you get to set the standards, not only of who you are, but of what you accept as your non-negotiable boundaries around you. How many days do you want to work? How many hours do you want to work? How much health do you want to gain whilst you're building your financial wealth? How much harmony do you want to gain whilst you're building your empire? You get to choose these standards, my friend. There are so many miserable millionaires out there, believe me. And there are so many people that have actually built incredible businesses and they are unapologetically humbly rich. These are the people that I serve and they're people that I hang around. And it's amazing. People that are like, well, I mean, I love making money and I don't want to be a dick. Now, there's no judgment on, I know people who are like, hey, I'm bougie when it comes to cars, travel, and houses, and everywhere else. I couldn't care. They wear Target clothes. You get to choose, and if you're out of balance in your business, and if business is feeling like it is costing you too much, it's time for you to choose a standard that means that it's not causing you this internal conflict of like, oh, far out, I have to do this or else blah, 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 blah. No, hold up for a second. You get to choose. You get to choose your standards. You get to choose who you are. You get to choose how you show up. You get to choose to wear pearls. You get to choose to wear sapphire rings. You get to choose to wear a top where you rip the arms off because you actually don't like the feeling of the arms. Like, not the rip the arms off. For those of you just listening, what I mean is I'm wearing a t-shirt at the moment. It's a t-shirt that I tore the sleeves off. I didn't like the sleeves on this t-shirt, so I tore them off. I get to choose. My point here is I'm a happy millionaire and I freaking love being a happy millionaire. Well, I'm a happy multimillionaire, actually. I'm not yet a decamillionaire, and I'm in the process of becoming a decamillionaire. And also, I get to choose how I create that journey. I will become a decamillionaire whilst being closer and closer and closer to my lovely wife. I get to choose to build my health along the journey. I get to choose to become a decamillionaire, how I choose to become a decamillionaire. And now is my time. And these are all beliefs. Do I have sometimes, limiting beliefs that come up along the way? Of course I do. I'm human. I also get to choose a higher standard when those limiting beliefs come up. So if you're overwhelmed, my dear friend, if you're sitting there, or maybe you're walking or listening or whatever to this right now, can I just say that you probably need to take a little bit of a look at who you are being in your business and what the driving force of who you've been has been. Chances are it's been defensive. Chances are you've created a business in response to something. And you've created a business standard and, how your team are treating you is based on your standards. Now, this isn't necessarily overly HR-ish. And I will let you know right now that I understand that I am not for everyone. And there's so much power, though, in not being for everyone. And I get to choose to not be for everyone. And I hopefully am displaying this to you right now. You don't have to be for everyone. Your job isn't to make everyone happy. Your job isn't to, do things perfectly. Your job isn't to kill yourself in the process of making money and then suddenly, at the end of the day, finally, give scraps to your family. Your job isn't to be a martyr. Your job isn't to struggle. Your job is to actually freaking live life how you want to live life. You get to choose. Recently, I went to America. And I didn't want to go, by the way. I booked the tickets knowing that I had to go, knowing that it was time for me to set a higher standard for myself, listen to the whispers, trust. I'd prayed, I'd journaled, I'd meditated, and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to book the tickets. I didn't want my peace to be abandoned. I didn't want to, there were so many reasons why I didn't want to go. But I also knew that in order to get to where I want to go and to become who I know that I am destined to become, because I can feel it and I know it, I had to choose to go. I chose to go. I chose to be in America for 2.5, nearly 3 weeks. And it was hard, and I struggled with sleeping, and I blah, 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 blah. And I wasn't overwhelmed though, because I was choosing the standard of faith. I was choosing the standard of being open to the whispers. I was choosing a standard of finding the higher ground without thinking in reacting to what the higher ground might need to be. I don't need another strategy. You probably don't need another strategy to make, a shit ton more money. Yet a lot of people are looking in the wrong direction and are looking for the wrong thing, and they're trying to solve the problem with more. Often the solution is less. I just helped someone accidentally make $100,000 by, he showed me all the big thing of what he does. And, that I could do this, 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 and all this sort of stuff. And then he was like, he told me the things that he absolutely loves. I said, why don't you just do that? Just do that. He goes, is that enough? I'm like, it's more than enough. Just do that. And he sold just that, and he made $100,000. It actually turned into $400,000. Isn't that amazing? It's a $400,000 potential if he chooses for that. Definite $100,000 and $400,000 potential if he chooses to jump and take another opportunity that's been presented to him. He got to choose. And the big thing that I want you to see here and know here is that his world was big and overwhelmed and disarray, and I don't know where I'm going, and I want a simple life. I want to make a crap ton of money. I want to be able to be myself. I want to use God's gifts, use the gifts that God has given me, blah, 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 all this sort of good stuff. And he was trying to solve the problem by looking at all the things he could do. And just because he can doesn't mean he should. And just because you can doesn't mean you should. You get to choose. You get to choose to be selfish. You get to choose, and I will actually speak to that for a second. My wife and I this year are choosing to be selfish. And that can be a triggering statement, and it used to be a very triggering statement for me, because I'm like, no, you got to put out, my mother was, I saw my mother as the most, listen to this, by the way, this is a big one. I saw my mother as the most selfish person, and I'm frowning right now for those of you that are just listening to me. I saw my mother as the most selfish person. And I never wanted to be selfish, because I felt hurt by the fact that she went and she lived her life and she did things that she wanted to do and things that mattered to her. And I felt like all she cared about was herself. What was actually going on is she was looking after herself. Now, was she the best mum back then? Nope. Nope. Was she who I needed her to be from a nurturing mother standpoint? Nope. But did she choose to be selfish and look after herself and primarily focus on herself? Yes. Now, I didn't want to be any of that. So I had a negative relationship with the word selfish, because I never wanted to be anything like that. Yet, what happened was I actually became the opposite of that and was triggered by that. So therefore, actually just gave and gave and gave and gave and gave and self-abandoned in the process of reacting to my mother being selfish. Now, do I think that my mother could have been more nurturing? Yes. Do I think that her selfishness was maybe a little too selfish at times? Yep, sure. I get to say that. And did she teach me an amazing lesson? Far out, yes. Now, when I say my wife and I are choosing to be selfish this year, let me explain what we mean by that, or what I mean by that. We're choosing simplicity. It's basically an acronym. Simplicity, ease, lucrative, and fun. That is self. And then the next ones are inspirational. I want to be inspired. I want to inspire the crap out of myself with what I choose to do. Like, holy shit, I did that. Holy crap. Look at what I did. Like, look at what I'm choosing. Like, I'm wanting to, like, literally inspire myself. You can see how much energy is in that one, right? So simple, ease, lucrative, fun, inspirational, scalable, and high vibration. That is what we are choosing. And we're choosing that as opposed to overwhelm, as opposed to clutter, as opposed to doing things that I could do. But no, I'm stepping into my zone of genius and operating from that. And so do you. You get to choose. And just because you can manage the team, just because you can run the ads, just because you can write the copy, just because you can do all that sort of stuff, if you're overwhelmed, you need to take a serious look at what you're choosing for yourself and ask yourself, why am I doing all of this right now? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So I'm going to end with this and remind you that your standards are going to dictate how you arrive in business a year from now. Whatever you choose now, and choose properly, and then walk towards that. When I say choose properly, I mean make an actual choice, not just that'd be a nice idea. I love you. You are safe. You are incredible. You deserve to build a business and a life that you absolutely love, and for it to not cost you the things that matter. You get to choose. I love you. You're amazing. I'll see you in the next video.